Fluency isn't just about how fast you speak. It's about how deeply your words resonate. Welcome to The Fluent Mind, the podcast where your English grows as your perspective deepens. I'm your host, Liz, and today's episode is a little quieter because we're diving into something we rarely talk about: silence. In a world where everyone wants to talk, post, share, and be heard, silence feels strange, like an awkward pause we must quickly fill. But here's the truth. Silence is not emptiness. It is space. And space is where meaning grows. So why does silence make you sound more fluent? First, it slows your speech naturally. That prevents you from sounding rushed, nervous, or unclear. Second, it gives you thinking time. Silence buys you seconds to choose precise, high-level vocabulary instead of filler words like, like. Third, it makes your words stronger. A well-placed pause adds gravity, like bold text in speech. And fourth, silence invites the listener to engage. They lean in, process your words, and feel more connected. There's even a word for this in Japanese culture. It's called ma, which means the gap. In music, it's the silence between notes that creates rhythm. In conversation, it's the pause that creates meaning. Without it, everything feels cluttered. With it, even simple words feel elegant. Let me share a story. Years ago, a student preparing for IELTS speaking came to me with a problem. He said, "I keep talking nonstop because I'm scared of silence." So we practiced answering questions with short pauses after key points. In his exam, the examiner asked, "What's one challenge your country faces today?" And he answered, "Air pollution." Pause. And not just in big cities. Even rural areas are beginning to feel it. That pause made the examiner look up, make eye contact, and really listen. Result? Band 8.0. Silence also carries emotion. Think of the quiet before a proposal, the stillness after bad news, the hush before an audience claps. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. So how can you practice silence to sound more fluent? Start by recording yourself speaking, and notice if you rush or add fillers. Then, deliberately pause after important words. For example, "The best decision I ever made was leaving my comfort zone." You can also use the breathing trick. Before answering a question, take one slow breath. It gives your brain and your voice control. And finally, observe great speakers. Watch TED Talks, news anchors, or leaders. Notice how they use silence, not avoid it. Here's the mindset shift. We often speak to fill space, afraid others might think we don't know what to say. But silence actually makes you seem confident. People remember you for what you did say, not for what you left out. Fluency isn't just about speed or vocabulary. It's about rhythm, timing, and presence. Words are powerful, but the space around words is what gives them life. So next time you're about to speak, try pausing. Let your words land. Let silence breathe. You might be surprised how much more fluent, confident, and impactful you sound. And here's a small challenge for today. In at least one conversation, replace a rushed answer with a calm pause before speaking. Notice how people react. Thanks for listening to The Fluent Mind. Until next time, keep speaking and keep pausing.